It's not a college football playoff game, but today's Alamo Bowl is a chance to end BYU's season right.
Jake turns and gives to Sione Moa. Moa running hard, 15 and 12-yard line for Sione Moa.
The Cougars take on Big 12 rival Colorado, and a chance for the Cougars to win game number 11. This is KSL's special extended pregame coverage. BYU, Colorado, on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back in. Extended pregame. The Cougars and the Buffaloes. A top 25 battle taking place tonight. Kickoff is at 5:30 p.m. Pregame, 3:30 p.m. All of it heard right here on KSL News Radio. But you're joining us currently for extended pregame coverage. So this is a day and a night full of BYU football to cap off a 2024 season, which has been a good one, and a chance to get to 11 wins and potentially springboard to 2025. Mitch, when are you taking off to the Alamo Dome?
I will be leaving here for the Alamo Dome coming up about the top of the hour. I'll head over. I'll stay on the air.
Yes,
I will be still on the air. I'll go Kirk Herbstreit style, and in what's the air service that he get air, or what do they call that plane service for college
Wheels
game day?
up, wheels up.
Wheels up. That's what it is. I won't be in the air, but I'll be on a media shuttle heading over to the Alamo Dome. The stadium opens around 2:45 p.m. Mountain Time. So I got to get ready, get in place, because you know me, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just one of those sickos that has to be there.
I'm that way too.
The first person in the stadium. I always kind of laugh at when my wife is like, "We got to get to our kids' basketball game first and get a seat." And I'm like, "Come on, like, what are we doing here?" But I'm the same way when it comes to these BYU sporting events. I feel like I got to get there first, get settled in, and beat the rush. And there's going to be a lot of fan activities. It's kind of crazy. Earlier in the show, I was talking about how the fan attendance for BYU and the bowl week activities was pretty light. The pep rally 2 days ago, I would say a rough estimate was probably 65-35 Colorado fans. But I'll tell you, I'm looking out my window right now at my hotel right above the Riverwalk, and I'm going to say there is a lot of Royal Blue walking on the street level, and there's a BYU tailgate party just to my left here. I believe it's the BYU alumni tailgate for fans. A lot of Cougar fans. So, again, that wild card of BYU fans showing up on game day, the locals in the state of Texas arriving on the day of the game, that might be showing up, and we might see more BYU fans than we think. So I'm a little more optimistic there's going to be more Royal Blue in those stands than I thought there'd be earlier in the week.
Well, it'll be fun to have you on with us as you get into the Alamo Dome and give us live updates from inside of what the fan reaction will be like. But first, Mitch, it's time to roll out the top five.
The Cougar Sports Saturday Top 5. Top 5. Mitch and Matt clash in a weekly battle of BYU sports knowledge. Here's the Top 5.
The Cougars are battling on the football field against the Buffaloes, and Cougar Sports Saturday is battling right here and right now. We do this every single week. We're on the air. Our producer, Nate Slack, he comes with a list. Could be a factual list, could be a preferential list. And myself and Mitch, we put away our electronic devices and we used just our life experience and knowledge to try and get 3 correct answers and be the winner of that week's top 5. And with that being said, happy bowl week to you. Nate Slack, how are you feeling about this matchup?
I'm excited for it. I really am. I think bowl games are kind of tough because you look forward to football season for so long, like 9 months until the next game. And it feels like it ends so fast.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer that it ends tonight. But I'm really excited for the game. I'm really excited for the matchup. I'm really excited to see how BYU plays against Travis Hunter. And that's what we're going to go with today's top 5. It's not very often that BYU's played a Heisman finalist, better yet a Heisman winner. So today's top 5 is going to be the last 5 times that BYU played against a Heisman finalist.
Wow. That's going to be tricky.
Okay.
So it's a little tough, but name and
finalist
year.
as in they went to New York City.
They went to New York City. Yep. So top 3. So top 3 finalists, Heisman finalists.
Top 3? I thought sometimes weren't there 4?
I don't know. The NCAA
Sometimes.
list I was
There's
looking
some
at.
There's some years where there'll be 4, but typically 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so the list I looked at was from the NCAA, and it just showed all the finalists. So I've got the last 5 times that BYU played a finalist in that season, so you have to give me the name and the year that they played them.
Oh, my goodness. This is going to be a challenge.
There's some names that are pretty notable, and I think you guys get those quick, but there are 2 other names that I think might take a little while. But
all right.
Let's get to it. So we're going to be starting out with Mitch today.
Let's go with Reggie Bush in 2004.
So this is a tricky one because he wasn't a finalist in 2004. He did win it in 2005, but when in the season that BYU played Reggie Bush, he was never a finalist.
Very interesting. I mean, he looked like a finalist, and he was scampering up the BYU sideline in 2004.
Yes, he did.
All right, let's go with I'm off to a bad start because I'm not even – there's easy ones here?
I would say there's 2 easy ones. 3 easy ones.
3 easy ones?
Mm-hmm. So get those really quick because the last 2 are a little tougher.
Let's try this is not one of the easy ones, and I don't know why I'm struggling with the easy ones. Let's go let's try 2008. Jake Locker.
Nice.
How about Matt Leinart, 2004?
Yeah, Matt Leinart, 2004. He won the Heisman in 2004. BYU lost the game 42-10 in Provo, but Leinart finished 22 of 34 for 236 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in that game.
Yeah, he was. I mean, that's one of the best college football teams I've ever witnessed in person. Seeing USC and that firepower, BYU was hanging that close. I remember that first half. I think it was 10-7, and then Reggie Bush popped off a big run, and Matt Leinart and crew just took over. It's kind of cool to think that BYU played USC at their kind of zenith as a program with Pete Carroll. That was fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mitch, you get a chance to steal.
Let's go with Alex Smith, 2004. Wow.
I think he was just outside the top 3. The site showed the top 3, so he may have been a finalist, but I think he was outside of the top 3.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he was in New York City, but okay,
yeah.
Nonetheless.
2005, Brady Quinn.
No Brady Quinn.
I think he was 2006 or maybe 7. I think he was a finalist.
Gotcha.
How about Chris Winkie, 2000, Florida State?
Yeah, nice. Chris Winkie, Florida State 2000. BYU lost 3-29. Chris Winkie was 32 of 50 for 318 yards and 2 touchdowns. The only thing that I remember about Chris Winkie is playing Madden in like 2004, because I love to play as the Carolina Panthers because of their uniform combos. But as far as the game, I don't remember much about that game.
He was the cover athlete on NCAA Football 2002, and I'm just hopefully I'm not foreshadowing what transpires when BYU faces Heisman Trophy winners tonight. Goodness gracious, these have been 2 bad outings, but yeah, that 2000 opener was the Pigskin Classic in Jacksonville, Lavelle's last season, and Chris Winkie, I think they were the defending national champs, Florida State was, and they had Peter Warwick, and gosh, that team was loaded. I bet Kalani can even tell some stories about that crew. And I think Kalani has said that Florida State team was the best team he faced. I'd have to double check on that, but yeah, Kalani was on that team, and BYU was just overmatched. I mean, that was when Florida State was Florida State. This whole Mike Norvell undefeated, yeah, that's cute, that's nice, solid, great, but Florida State with Bowden when they were in their heyday, BYU faced that, and they were a juggernaut at that time. And Chris Winkie was I think he was like a 28-year-old guy too at QB, because I think he had a professional baseball career, kind of like Joel Klatt, and yeah. So there you go. That's Chris Winkie for you.
All right, 2-0 lead for Mitch. Matt's got to stay alive right here.
I need to stay alive, and if this particular one is on the list, I'm completely outclassed, and I'm put a fork in me. 2022 Bo Nix. Oh, put a fork in me.
How about 2010 Colin Kaepernick?
No, good guess. Good guess. It's funny because I mentioned 3 easy ones, and you guys have only hit one of those so far. So I think there's 2 other that are you guys will hear the names and be like, oh, I knew that.
Really?
Yeah.
Give us a hint. Give Matt a hint.
One play, Bronco coached against this guy, so it was during the Bronco era on the road.
Okay.
During the Bronco era on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this is wrong, but this is all I can come up with. 2009 Sam Bradford, but he was hurt that whole year. So
right.
On the road, Bronco. This is a famous name in BYU recruiting history too.
Yep.
Manti Te'o.
Ah, yes.
Manti Te'o, 2012 came in second in the Heisman race. BYU lost 17-14. Famously, Riley Nelson missing Cody Hoffman downfield.
That's one of the worst
Riley,
missed
if you're
throws
listening to
in
this,
the
we're not
history.
trying to bring up old wounds.
But it's one of the worst missed passes
Yeah.
in the history of BYU football.
Yeah.
Manti Te'o did finish with 10 tackles and an interception in that game. So another good showing by a Heisman finalist. But, man, what could have been?
Oh, what if? Gosh, these games against Heisman finalists or winners, not great, are they? What's the rest of the list, Nate? Or should we try to guess it?
Yeah,
Give
you
us
guys,
another
you guys
hint.
can guess it. I think I'll give you number 5. You're not going to get number 5. Oh, you know what?
Well, hold on.
Let's
What year?
guess it. Let's guess it. 1991 is number 5. Desmond Howard won it. Third place was Ty Detmer. Second place is the guy that BYU played.
1991, then that would probably be, was that Charlie Ward?
No,
Was that Penn State player?
Florida State.
It's a
Florida State.
player.
Who was it?
Casey Weldon.
Oh,
Yeah,
Casey
we
Weldon.
Never would have got that.
He had like a
I
legit
wouldn't either.
visor. Okay.
Who was the other easy one? Yeah.
No, number 4. This is an old WAC game. BYU lost
Okay.
38-45. So, quick side note.
What
in
year?
This, 1992. He came in second in the Heisman.
Oh.
He had-
1992. Is this Fresno State?
No, he had 299 yards.
Oh, Marshall Falk.
Oh, yeah, Marshall Falk.
Falk.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So BYU's 0-5 in these games on the top 5, by the way. I'm just going to
Well, that's not promising,
No,
Nate.
not at all. But it's kind of like the broadcaster's jinx, right? I say it, and then I willed into the future that BYU's going to win tonight.
Yikes. 0-5.
Yeah.
And what was it, the BYU SDSU game in 92? That was the closest of them?
No, the Notre Dame game,
You're right.
14-17.
Yeah.
I guess 0-6 if you're taking into account the Alex Smith game in 04 too against Utah.
Oh my goodness! Can we find a win against a Heisman finalist?
Oh man, I have to go back into the archives.
That would be. It's going to be interesting to see going forward if BYU will face more Heisman finalists by being a power conference team. Will the Big 12 create enough buzz and interest to keep delivering Heisman finalists? I hope so, because I think this league's got some really good teams and good talent. But is it only going to be Colorado type teams that have all the media attention and excitement? And understand too, Travis Hunter was the number 1 recruit in the country,
Right.
And so he had the buzz when he was arriving, even at an HBCU at Jackson State. So
He had the buzz
you
in high
wonder-
school. Remember Keelan Marion saying we knew who Travis
Oh, yeah.
Hunter was down in Georgia. So
Yeah.
he's had the buzz from when he was a kid, basically.
yes, so I'm excited if it takes just some out of this world prospect to get a Heisman winner, or is it going to be tough to create a Heisman finalist? It's few and far between, but I hope maybe BYU can change the outcome and get that coveted win. Because I'm thinking about other Heisman either winners or finalists that BYU's faced. Herschel Walker, 1982. They faced him in Georgia between the hedges, and Steve Young, I think, threw for 6 picks in that game.
Oh boy, yep.
And they lost that one. I believe it was 10-7. That was a close one against Georgia, who was the defending national champs. So BYU against Heisman finalists or winners is not great, but hey, they can change that storyline today by getting a victory here in San Antonio for the Alamo Bowl. I really like that list, though, Nate. That's good stuff.
Are
Yeah,
you worried?
thanks.
Speaking of this year's Heisman finalist, are you more worried about him on offense or defense?
Defense, just because I think he's elite as a cornerback. A wide receiver, he's exceptional too. I mean, he's incredible there, but I think he's he is the best cornerback in college football, hands down, and you're going to be very lucky to get anything on him. And that's where if Chase Roberts has any sort of production, assuming Chase gets lined up against Travis, that you kind of wonder what that stat line is going to look like, because he is an absolute lockdown corner, and I feel like NFL teams are going to force him to be just a cornerback and not do the two-way thing. But they got to let him. I mean, what makes him so special is doing the two-way stuff, and maybe you don't do every play in the NFL, but I'm excited to see a player that's going to be on the field every single snap. I mean, that's just unheard of stuff at this level of college football, and I can't wait to see it in person, because I always feel like seeing guys in person that are these elite talents is so different than just watching them on TV. I think you get a new appreciation when you see them in person. So I can't wait to see Travis Hunter tonight. I think that's one other element that makes it so exciting this evening.
All right. Congrats, Mitch, on the win. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Nate. All right, let's take a break. More extended pregame coming your way. And a quick update. I don't want to step over Jason Jones here, but Iowa State and Miami tied up at 7 in the bowl game. I would have loved to have attended the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Best trophy, I think, of the bowl season. An actual working toaster. But we'll keep tabs on that and a lot more as we get closer to BYU and Colorado.